Hi guys, it's Lorene. Somebody asked me if I could show you how to riffle shuffle your tarot cards. So I'm going to go ahead and give it an attempt and see if I can make that happen for you. The first thing to do if you're just starting out with riffle shuffling is I would choose a deck that's a little bit smaller, and this one I've actually trimmed down to fit my hands. And I would choose a deck that's very resilient. Very pliable. The thicker the cardstock, the harder it's going to be for you because the less pliable it is. So if you've got a very pliable deck like I have here, and this is the 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot, which again, I've trimmed to make it a little bit smaller, but it has great cardstock. I just cut the deck in half. Oops, look at already I'm making a mess. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the deck like this. This is why it's really important to have a deck that you can have that's resilient, okay? Can go either way. So I'm going to bend the deck, and then I'm going to let the cards fall through my thumbs. So I'm just pulling my thumbs back against the deck. Now I put my thumbs down in the center and my fingers around the edges here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend them this way. That's going to be the bridge, okay? It looks like this when it's on top. I'm going to bend them like this, and I'm just going to push them together. And it causes that little sound, and it causes the rifle shuffle. So let me show you again. We're going to bend them, let them fall through our thumbs. I did not do a very good job there. You can see that. This is what happens, right? And press them together, and they go together. Okay, I'm not really sure what else to tell you or to give you tips, but the less flexible your deck, the more frustrated you're going to become because they just don't bend like this. But if you can start with a deck that's really resilient like this one, you got to get them close enough so that they overlap. Okay, if you don't get them close enough, you can see that I almost lost it there. And then I bend and push them together, and that's it. And then they fall together. All right. I hope this helps. I hope that given this that you're able to do it. Like my grandmother taught me how to do this. So unfortunately, at some point we become unconsciously competent, meaning I don't know how I know how to do it anymore, but I'm doing my best to show it to you. Okay, so here we bend, and then see as I'm moving my thumbs back, and these overlap. I put my thumbs back in the middle. I have my index fingers in the center here, and I'm going to bend them to make the bridge. Oh, sorry, I just hit the camera. Bend them to make the bridge, and then push my hands together. Okay? That's a riffle shuffle. I hope that works for you. I hope that that is helpful to you. You know what? Let me show you the difference with cardstock that isn't as resilient. Hold on one second. Okay, I've switched my cardstock. This is the Deviant Moon Tarot. You might know it. It's a lot larger. Okay, so that also makes it more difficult to riffle shuffle. It's a stiffer cardstock, not the most stiff I've ever used, but it's a stiffer, more rigid cardstock. Do you see? Look, the bend, it takes a lot more to bend these. They're going to be noisier when you do. Press again my thumbs, index fingers in the side, and I'm going to curl, but you see it doesn't curl as far. And it just doesn't come together as easily. It can be done, but this causes a lot of frustration when you're just starting off with your tarot decks if your decks aren't rigid. Aren't flexible. See, it can be done, but I want to tell you it's just not as easy to do that. Let me know if that helped you at all. I love it. I think some people aren't super fond of the riffle shuffle in their tarot decks, mostly because of what you just heard. It's really loud and disturbing, and it really is kind of hard on your cards. You can see the edges here are all worn and nicked. To me, that's what creates some of the charm of the deck, and it looks like they've been loved. But it's not the easiest on your deck. So don't try one with gilded edges where it's going to chip really easily and you're going to be disappointed when it chips. This will not work with a rose petal deck. I think I showed you just the other day the Tarot of the Sevenfold Mystery. This one with the gilded edges. I can do it, but it's going to take some time to get the deck. Look at that. It's just really, really rigid. Again, it can be done, but you have to apply a lot more pressure, okay? You can't be as nice. And you can already see, you see how the gilding is starting to come off already? And that's from treating my cards with a little less care when you riffle shuffle than if I were to do a really nice, gentle overhand shuffle. All right, thanks very much. I hope this helped. Have a great day.